Welcome to my channel. Let me ask you one powerful question. What if the light in your room, the sound you hear, and the inventions you use every day were all created by one man who failed again and again? What if that man was once called slow and useless by his teachers? Today, you will discover how Thomas Edison changed the world forever, not with magic, not with luck, but with hard work, endless mistakes, and a mind that refused to quit. When Edison was a child, school was not a happy place for him. He struggled to understand lessons. His teachers did not see potential in him. Instead, they labeled him as slow. Many people would have believed those words and given up. But Edison did not. His mother believed in him when no one else did. She taught him at home and filled his mind with curiosity instead of fear. As Edison grew older, failure followed him everywhere. He failed in business. He failed in experiments. He failed so many times that people laughed at him. But here is the powerful lesson: Edison never saw failure as the end. He saw it as feedback. When someone asked him why he failed so many times, he said, "I did not fail. I just found thousands of ways that did not work." Think about that for a moment. Every mistake taught him something new. Every failure pushed him closer to success. When he worked on the electric light bulb, he tested thousands of materials. Thousands failed. But one finally worked, and that single success changed human life forever. Nights became brighter. Cities became safer. Progress moved faster. Edison's story teaches us that intelligence is not about being perfect. Learning is not about never falling. True innovation is born from patience, curiosity, and courage to try again. If you are learning English and feel slow, remember Edison. If you are afraid of mistakes, remember Edison. If people doubt you, remember Edison. Success does not belong to the smartest person in the room. It belongs to the one who refuses to stop. Stay with me till the end of this journey, because this story is not just about inventions. It is about belief. It is about effort. And it is about understanding that failure is not your enemy, giving up is. If Edison could light the world after thousands of failures, imagine what you can do if you simply keep going. Chapter 1. The boy who was told he was not smart before the world knew his name. Before cities shined with electric light. Before his inventions changed human life forever. He was just a small boy that no one believed in. His name was Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison was not born special. He was not born famous. He was not born smart in the way people expect. As a child, he was quiet in some moments and extremely curious in others. He asked too many questions. He wanted to know why the sky was blue, how sound traveled, and what made things work. But his teachers did not like his questions. In school, children were expected to sit quietly, listen, and repeat lessons. Edison could not do that. His mind moved too fast. He did not want answers without understanding. Because of this, his teachers became angry. They said he was slow. They said he was confused. Some even said he was not smart. Imagine hearing that as a child. Imagine being told you are useless before you even understand who you are. This is the first emotional truth of Edison's life. Rejection came before success. Failure came before greatness. Doubt came before belief. For many learners watching this moment feels familiar. Maybe you were told you are bad at English. Maybe someone laughed at your mistakes. Maybe a teacher made you feel small. Just like Edison, many people stopped trying at this point. But Edison's story did not end there. One day, his mother read a letter from his school. The letter said that Edison was unfit for learning and should not come back. Instead of believing those words, his mother made a powerful decision. She chose her child over the system. She chose belief over labels. His mother became his first real teacher. She taught him at home, not with pressure, but with patience. She did not force him to memorize. She allowed him to explore. She gave him books and told him to ask questions. She listened to him. She told him he was capable. That belief changed everything. For the first time, Edison felt safe to learn. He felt free to think. There was no fear of being wrong. There was no punishment for mistakes. Learning became exciting instead of painful. Slowly, something beautiful happened. Edison fell in love with curiosity. He started reading books for hours. He did not read to pass exams. He read to understand the world. He read about science, machines, and ideas. His mind began to grow in its own way, not the school way, but his way. Soon, curiosity turned into action. Young Edison began doing small experiments at home. He wanted to see what would happen if he mixed things. He wanted to understand sound, energy, and motion. He built tiny laboratories using simple tools. Many experiments failed. Some made a mess. Some even broke things. But Edison did not stop. When something failed, he did not cry. He asked another question. When something broke, he tried again. When something did not work, he learned from it. This is a powerful lesson. Failure did not scare him, because no one punished him for it. Many people fear learning because they fear mistakes. They fear embarrassment. They fear being judged. Edison was lucky. His mother gave him a safe space to fail. And failure became his teacher. Day by day, experiment by experiment, his confidence grew. Not confidence in being perfect, but confidence in trying again. His mind became sharp, not because he was fast, but because he was persistent. This chapter is not about inventions yet. It is about mindset. It is about belief. Edison was not smart in the beginning. He became smart through curiosity, freedom, and effort. This is important for you to understand. If you feel slow while learning English, it does not mean you are weak. If you make mistakes, it does not mean you are stupid. If others do not believe in you, it does not mean you are wrong. Great minds often begin as misunderstood minds. As a boy, Edison was rejected by school. As a man, he would change the world. But that journey started here, in a small home, with a mother who believed, and a boy who refused to stop asking questions. So here is the curiosity moment that pushes us forward. If this boy was once called not smart, if this boy failed in school, if this boy made endless mistakes, how did he become one of the greatest inventors in history? Stay with me, because the answer will change how you see learning, failure, and yourself. Chapter 2: Failure, Failure, and More Failure. Before the world knew him as one of the greatest inventors in history, Thomas Edison was just a boy struggling to survive. His early life was full of challenges. His teachers said he was slow. Some even called him useless. Imagine being a child and hearing that you are not smart enough. Most children would feel hopeless. Most children would give up. But Edison did not give up. He kept moving forward. Edison's first jobs were simple, hard, and far from glamorous. He became a newsboy, selling newspapers on trains. Every morning, he woke up early. He worked long hours. He had to speak to strangers, convince them to buy papers, and deal with angry customers. He learned lessons not from books, but from life itself. This early work taught him resilience, patience, and problem-solving. One small but powerful event changed his life forever. Edison saved a young child from being hit by a train. The child's father was grateful and taught Edison how to use a telegraph machine. This skill became a turning point in his life. Soon, Edison found work as a telegraph operator, sending messages in Morse code across wires. It was not an easy job. He had to work night shifts, be extremely careful, and stay alert. Mistakes could cost him his job. And Edison made mistakes, many mistakes. He was fired several times. People laughed at him. They said he would never succeed. But Edison did not see these moments as failure. He saw them as lessons. He learned by doing, not by perfect study. He learned from every mistake. He kept trying, again and again. Edison's early experiments as an inventor were even harder. He tried thousands of ideas that did not work. Machines failed. Experiments exploded. Some experiments caused small fires. He lost money. Investors stopped supporting him. People mocked him. Newspapers called him crazy and hopeless. Yet Edison had a powerful mindset. He believed, "I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways that won't work." For him, failure was never shameful. Failure was information. Failure was a teacher. Every mistake taught him something new. Every problem revealed the path to success. This mindset is simple but powerful. Beginners learning English can understand it easily. Mistakes are not the end. Mistakes are steps forward. One night, Edison faced one of his darkest moments. A fire broke out in his laboratory. Flames destroyed years of work. Machines, experiments, and notes all burned to ashes. Most people would have given up. Most people would have felt hopeless. But Edison stayed calm. He even told his family to watch the fire. He said, "This is beautiful. We are clearing out all our mistakes." The next day, Edison returned to work. He started again. He rebuilt. He experimented. He failed again. And then he failed some more. Losses, mistakes, and ridicule became a normal part of his life. Yet he did not quit. Edison's story is full of emotional spikes. Every setback is heartbreaking. Every failed experiment feels like a crushing defeat. But each moment also inspires hope. It teaches us that persistence is more important than talent. Effort is more powerful than luck. Beginners learning English can relate. Every time you speak and make a mistake, you are learning. Every time you try a sentence and fail, you are one step closer to fluency. Despite thousands of failures, Edison kept moving forward. He worked day and night, often sleeping very little. His body was tired. His mind was exhausted. His finances were tight. But his spirit remained unbroken. He believed that success comes from persistence, not from avoiding mistakes. Every failure taught him something. Every setback gave him experience. Every loss strengthened his determination. This repetition of learning from failure is a lesson not just for inventors, but for anyone trying to achieve something difficult. Beginners learning English, students struggling with subjects, or anyone feeling not good enough can learn from Edison. Failure is part of the process. Failure is not the end. Failure is a teacher. As this chapter comes to a close, the suspense grows. After countless experiments, after losing money, after watching his lab burn, after being laughed at by everyone, the question remains. Will Edison finally create something that changes the world? After so many failures, after so many nights of frustration, the moment of success is almost within reach. But it is still a mystery. The answer will come soon, and when it does, it will light up the world forever. Edison's journey teaches us a simple truth: the path to greatness is not smooth. It is full of failure, struggle, and repeated attempts. And yet, every step, no matter how difficult, is a step closer to success. Failure is not the end. Failure is the lesson. Failure is the light guiding you to success. The world is waiting. And so is Edison. Chapter 3: The inventions that changed human life. Before Edison, the world was very different. Nights were dark. People used candles or oil lamps to see. Music existed only when someone played it live. Messages traveled slowly, sometimes taking days or weeks. Cities were quiet at night. Life was simple, but also limited. Imagine living in that world. Imagine trying to read at night by a weak candle. Imagine hearing your favorite song only once, performed by someone far away. Edison changed all of that. One of Edison's most famous inventions was the light bulb. Before the light bulb, nights were short. People stopped working or reading when the sun went down. But Edison created a safe, long-lasting electric light. Suddenly, people could work, learn, and enjoy their evenings. Factories could operate longer, students could study at night, and families could spend time together after dark. The light bulb did not just give light, it gave opportunity. It turned darkness into productivity and creativity. Think of how English learners can relate. Just like a light bulb brightens a dark room, every small practice brightens your mind and opens new possibilities. Another remarkable invention was the phonograph. This machine could record and play sound. For the first time in history, music and voices could be preserved. People no longer had to rely on live performances. They could listen at home, share with others, and enjoy the same song over and over. Imagine hearing your favorite song for the first time ever, recorded from someone's voice. The phonograph changed communication too. Leaders could record speeches. Families could preserve memories. Edison gave sound a new life. For English learners, this teaches patience and practice. Just like sounds are recorded and played again to be perfected, speaking a new language improves when repeated and practiced consistently. Edison also invented early motion picture technology. Before motion pictures, stories were told only with words, books, or theater. Movies brought images and movement to life. They allowed people to see places, events, and emotions as if they were happening in front of them. Imagine living in a time without movies. No cartoons, no dramas, no excitement of the screen. Motion pictures made entertainment vivid, education engaging, and history memorable. For learners of English, this is like practicing with videos or listening to stories. Seeing and hearing at the same time makes understanding easier, just like motion pictures bring stories to life. Perhaps the most transformative invention was Edison's work on power systems. He built ways to generate and distribute electricity to homes and cities. Imagine cities without electricity, no streetlights, no electric machines, no fans, no heating. Daily life was difficult. Factories could not run efficiently. Homes were dark. Edison's power systems made electricity widely available, changing industries, transportation, and homes forever. Electricity was more than light. It was the foundation for modern life. For English learners, this shows that big change takes planning, effort, and repeated work. Edison did not invent electricity itself. He created systems that made it usable for everyone, just like learners create methods to make English usable in real life. Edison's inventions are not just machines, they are life changers. They turned simple activities into new experiences. The light bulb gave people more time and energy. The phonograph made sound immortal. Motion pictures brought imagination to life. Power systems created the framework for modern cities. Every invention solved a problem. Every invention made life easier and more enjoyable. Before Edison, life was slower, quieter, and more limited. People could only work during daylight. Music could only be heard once, live. Cities slept at night. Homes were dim and silent. After Edison, nights became productive. Music could travel far. People could see, work, and play whenever they wanted. Electricity connected homes and industries. Edison's inventions created comfort, connection, and freedom. There is a lesson for English learners in this story. Just like Edison tested thousands of ideas, repeated experiments, and improved step by step, learning English requires patience and practice. You may make mistakes, feel slow, or struggle. But each effort, each sentence, and each conversation builds a new skill, just like every invention built a new way of living. Learning a language is not instant. It grows with consistency, imagination, and hard work. Edison did not just invent machines. He invented possibilities. He invented light in darkness, sound in silence, images in stillness, and power in cities. He invented a new way of living. Every invention reshaped the world and gave people tools to live better, work smarter, and imagine more. And this is why Edison is remembered. Not because he made one or two machines, but because he changed the way humans experience life. His inventions were not just objects, they were ideas brought into reality. And the lesson is clear for all of us. Creativity, persistence, and practice can transform not only your life but the lives of everyone around you. Think about it. A world without Edison would still be dark, quiet, and limited. But he showed that one person, with curiosity, patience, and relentless effort, can illuminate the world, one invention at a time. Edison's inventions remind us that progress is built slowly, step by step. Each failure, each experiment, each small improvement adds up. And just like Edison changed life for millions, learning English can open doors to new worlds, new conversations, and new possibilities. The next time you struggle with a sentence, a word, or a difficult idea, remember, Edison did not just invent machines, he invented a new way of living. And you can invent a new way of speaking, understanding, and connecting through language, one step at a time. Chapter 4. The Mindset of Innovation and the Legacy. When we look at Thomas Edison, it is easy to see a man full of machines and inventions. But behind the machines, there was a mind that thought differently. A mind that refused to give up. A mind that believed in hard work, curiosity, and learning from mistakes. This chapter is not about his inventions. This chapter is about his mindset, the way he thought, acted, and created a lasting legacy. And it is a mindset that everyone, including students and English learners, can use in life. Edison believed one simple idea: hard work beats talent. He knew that talent alone was not enough. Many people are smart. Many people have natural gifts. But Edison worked harder than anyone else. He spent long nights in his lab. He tested thousands of experiments. He tried, failed, and tried again. This is a lesson for learners everywhere. Intelligence is important, but effort and persistence can take you further than talent alone. Learning English, for example, is not about being naturally good at languages. It is about showing up every day, practicing, and refusing to quit. Every word you speak, every sentence you write, is a small invention of your own. The second part of Edison's mindset was curiosity is power. He asked questions constantly. How can this machine work better? Why does this idea fail? What happens if I try it this way? Edison never accepted the first answer. He explored, experimented, and imagined possibilities. Curiosity drove him forward. Curiosity turned small ideas into great inventions. For English learners, curiosity works the same way. Ask questions. Explore new words. Listen to new sounds. Be curious about the language, the culture, and the way people express themselves. Curiosity makes learning exciting, and it gives your brain the energy to grow. The third part of Edison's mindset was failure is feedback. Edison did not fear failure. He welcomed it. He called it a teacher. Every time an experiment failed, he learned something new. Every time someone laughed at him, he found a lesson. Failure was not the opposite of success, it was part of the path to success. This is one of the most important lessons for life. Beginners learning English often feel embarrassed, afraid to speak, or worried about mistakes. Edison's life shows that mistakes are not shameful. Mistakes are feedback. They show what works and what doesn't. They guide you closer to your goal. Edison's mindset was not only about inventing machines, it was about creating a way of living. He thought about how people could live better, work better, and enjoy life more. Because of his curiosity, hard work, and learning from failure, we have light at night, recorded sound, motion pictures, and electricity in our homes and cities. Every time you turn on a lamp, listen to music, or watch a movie, you are experiencing the path Edison created. His ideas still touch every corner of our lives. But the most important part of Edison's legacy is not the inventions. It is the mindset. It is the idea that anyone can innovate. Innovation is not only for scientists. It is not only for people in laboratories. Innovation is for students, dreamers, and learners. It is for anyone willing to work hard, stay curious, and learn from mistakes. You can innovate in your life, in your studies, and even in the way you learn English. Every small idea, every new skill, every conversation you practice is part of building your own innovation. Edison's life teaches a deeply motivational truth: perfection is not required to make a difference. He was not perfect. He failed thousands of times. He lost money. People laughed at him. Yet, he changed the world. He turned darkness into light. He turned silence into sound. He turned ideas into reality. And this is a powerful lesson for everyone. If Edison could change the world without being perfect, you can change your life too. If Edison could keep trying after thousands of failures, you can keep trying after mistakes or setbacks. If Edison could imagine something new and make it real, you can create new opportunities in your own life. The path may be long. The work may be hard. But every step forward counts. Every small effort is part of your invention. Think about it. Every sentence you speak in English, every word you write, every new conversation you try is part of your legacy. Just like Edison built a world of light, sound, and movement, you can build a life of confidence, skill, and growth. The mindset is the same. Work hard, stay curious, and treat mistakes as lessons. Edison's story ends not with a machine, but with an idea that humans can create, improve, and transform their world. And your story can do the same. You do not need to be perfect. You do not need to be a genius. You only need a mindset of persistence, curiosity, and learning from failure. So, remember this: hard work beats talent, curiosity is power, and failure is feedback. Live these words every day. Apply them to learning, to speaking, and to dreaming. Edison changed the world. And you can change your life. Your inventions may not light up the world yet. They may not be a light bulb or a phonograph. But they can light up your life, your mind, and your future. Just like Edison, take action, learn from mistakes, stay curious, and work hard. Your legacy begins today. If Thomas Edison's story inspired you, take a moment to think about what it really means. If it helped you believe that learning is possible, even when it feels difficult, you are not alone. Every small step you take, every mistake you make, is part of your journey to success. Subscribe to this channel, because here we learn English through real stories, simple words, and powerful ideas that you can use in your life. Like this video if you believe that failure is not the end, it is just the beginning. And comment below. Tell me one thing you learned today from Edison's life and how you will use it to improve yourself. Your story can start today, just like his did.